Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This video session of AutoCAD tutorial is about how to set units, drawing limits, scale factor and object snap settings. Before making any drawing in AutoCAD, you must go through these important settings to make your drawing more precisely and more accurately with proper dimensions. Out of these four settings, I always put unit settings on first. Through unit settings, you can define the unit types for your drawing. AutoCAD is very flexible for providing these unit types. For example, if you are interested to make your drawing in feet inches, or you want to make your drawing in meters centimeters, you must have to define the proper unit types in AutoCAD. The second important setting is drawing limit settings. Through drawing limit settings, you can define a drawing area for your drawing. Because this black screen, we can say this black screen is infinite. In this infinite space, you define a finite space for your drawing. In drawing area, you can define the boundary for your drawing. So then you can make your drawing in that particular boundary, and you can adapt and you can trace your object more accurately and more easily. So drawing limits is equally important as unit settings. The third important setting is scale factor setting. Through scale factor, you can increase or you can decrease the size of your object by a factor. By default, we work on standard scale, that is full scale, for more simplicity. However, if your drawing is large or you are working on extremely smaller object, so you can increase or you can decrease your object by a factor. If you enter any number from 1 onward, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so you can increase the size of your object by that particular factor or that particular number. But if you want to reduce the size of your object, then you have to enter any number between 0 and 1. For example, if I enter 0.5, so through 0.5 I can exactly reduce the size of that particular object to half. The fourth important setting is object snap setting. In AutoCAD, through object snap settings, you can specify precise location on object. For example, if you draw a line and you want to make another line on that particular line, so through object snap setting, it will provide you the starting point, midpoint and end point of that particular line. So you can easily draw any line at the middle point or the starting or end point. So object snap setting is also important. So how can we do these settings? AutoCAD provides you various methods to do these settings. From here, click here, and through drawing utilities, you can set units. By default, the default unit types of AutoCAD is decimal. But if you want to make your drawing in feet inches, so you can select architectural or engineering units. So by clicking here and selecting drawing utilities and then units, you can select your unit types. But in AutoCAD, mostly we work on short keys. So after UN enter, and space bar is used as an enter. You can use the conventional enter button as well, but for more convenient, we can use space bar. So after entering U and enter from your keyboard, you can press space bar, and then you can directly select your units and drawing limits. So there are various methods to do unit settings and drawing limit settings, scale factor settings. But through MV setup, or we can say multi-view setups, we can set drawing limits, unit settings and scale factor settings in one go. So I will recommend to do these settings through MV setups. So after pressing MV setup enter, enable paper space. In AutoCAD, there are two distinct working environments. This one is model space, and layout 1, layout 2 is paper space. So if you are making your drawing and you are in a designing phase, so you must have to select no. If you select yes, so then you can switch or you can turn on layout 1, layout 2. Through layout 1, layout 2, we can do the paper settings for our drawing. I mean, the print setting is font and units in layout 1 are in layout 2. So right now I don't need to enable paper space, so I press and enter. Then enter unit types. There are various unit types in AutoCAD, but if you are making your drawing in feet or inches, so you can select engineering and architectural. There are a little difference between these two, but in the later lecture we will see that what is the main difference between engineering and architectural units. But I will suggest to, if your background is civil engineer and you want to make architectural drawings or civil drawings, so then you can choose architectural units. But for mechanical and or for any other discipline, you can choose engineering for feet inches. However, if you want to make your drawing in meters centimeters, so you can choose metric unit as well. Right now I'm interested to make my drawing in feet inches, so I select engineering units. Enter the scale factor. If I press 1 enter, so it means I'm working on full scale, and full scale 1 feet is equal to 12 inches if you are using engineering units. So full scale means if you are entering 1, so AutoCAD will provide you 1 feet. But if you press 2 enter, so after 2 enter, if you draw a line of 1 feet, so AutoCAD will provide you a line of 2 feet. So you can increase the size of your line or the size of your object by a factor of 2, and similarly 3, 4 and onward. But if you want to reduce or you want to shrink the size of your drawing, so you can press 0.5 enter. Right now I'm entering 1 because for more simplicity I want to work on full scale, so 1 enter. Here 100 and feet is very much important. If you choose engineering or architectural, then this single quote is used for feet, and for inches you have to press this with shift, so then you can enter this double quote, that is 4 inches. So I press 100 feet enter, and 100 feet enter is the paper height. So this is basically a drawing area, and I said drawing area that is 100 feet by 100 feet. So through MV setup I did unit settings, that is engineering drawing limit settings 100 feet by 100 feet, and I choose scale factor 1 because I'm working on full scale, or I want to make my drawing in full scale. Then the last setting is object snap settings, that is select right click here if you are using AutoCAD 2016 object snap setting and select all, then OK. So if you make a line, so L enter if I want to make another line, so no, this is the starting point, this is the middle point, and this one is the end point. So after object snap settings, it will provide you, it will guide you that how can you draw another line properly at the end, middle, or at the starting point. So these settings are important. Before making any drawing, you must have to, or you must confirm the fixing of these 4 settings. Then you can easily make your drawing more precisely, accurately, and you can make your drawing with proper dimensions. In the next video, we will learn how can we make lines with different angles or with different angles. So thank you so much, and keep watching my videos. Allah Hafiz.